Hi there, folks. Welcome to Part 8 of The Legend of Zelda. And, I had to re-record this part, like I already mentioned in the previous video. I had to re-record this part, so things are going to be a little desynced between this video and the upcoming video. I do show everything off, though, so don't worry about it. It just, things are going to not quite add up. Like, money, for example. I'm going to have less money this time through than I do in the regular playthrough. Oh, I love doing that with the arrows. I don't know why. There's just something so incredibly awesome about that. So much fun doing that. Anywho, Labyrinth 7 is right here. I know, you're thinking, well, it's just a fountain, isn't it? How is this Labyrinth 7? What, do I gotta burn down a bush? No, you gotta do this. You play the recorder. Oh, Schnitzel, we dried up the pond. That doesn't look very deep. Oh. I love this bright green color. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already or not, but this color reminds me of the Ninja Turtles. The shade of green just makes me think, just instantly think of Ninja Turtles. So, I know what you're thinking. This is Labyrinth 7. It's gotta be just as bad or even worse than the last couple of labyrinths. No, this labyrinth is actually incredibly easy. This labyrinth actually probably should have been labyrinth number 5, and then they should have bumped 5 to 6, and then 6 to 7, to be perfectly honest. So this one has a couple of treasures, one of which I'm going to show where to get it, and I'm going to explain what it does, because it's fairly simple. However, though, I don't have enough money to get it, and since I already had to re-record the game, I really didn't want to go back and farm for money. So I'm just going to explain what it does. And all that, and what's more, you're going to see what it does. You're going to see what it does starting from the next part on. Anywho, I have a little bit of trouble with the dongos. I want to go into the room to the south of here, and it's not letting me. Bats. The bats are annoying. They've been in almost every labyrinth. They move so randomly and all that. It's just, they're annoying. Snakes! I was wrong. Apparently there are snakes in this labyrinth, which I completely forgot and spaced out. I spaced that and I completely forgot there are labyrinths, that there are snakes here. Sorry, stumbling over my words again. Anyway, so I was wrong. There are snakes outside of labyrinth number 2. Anywho, the first treasure is right here. I bet you'd like to have more bombs. Yeah, sure, who wouldn't want to have more bombs so we could blow crap up? As you can see, you need 100 rupees to get them, and I do not have 100 rupees. So I'm going to be explaining what they do right now. If I were to get that, I'd be able to carry 12 bombs instead of 8. Yeah, that's literally all that does. It increases how many bombs you can carry. And while I say that's all that it does, that is such a useful thing, because bombs hurt almost every single enemy in this game. And I've already mentioned how useful they are for hurting as well as dodging, and they're all around awesome. Dig Dogger! So you're going to want to get that, especially for the upcoming labyrinths, because you're going to want more bombs. Anywho, there's 3 eyes this time instead of the 1. Dig Dogger's still a joke, though. Oh, I can't seem to hit him here. Come on, poke him! There you go. I recommend blowing up this wall, just so that we can go to the next room, since it has a key. Yeah, my key count's a little low, and I want to make sure I have enough to get through the labyrinth, which I do, because I do this. And we're back at the moving fire worm centipede, guys, and I still don't know how that works, if I were to have a wooden weapon. Luckily, I have the magic sword, so I can understand it now. Kind of. But before, I still don't. I didn't get it. How in the world would a wooden sword kill a moving flame? So, moblins, as you can tell, are the big enemy type, which that may be one of the reasons why this labyrinth is so much easier than the last 2. Yeah, this labyrinth is incredibly easy and all that. I seriously don't get hit very much. Grumble, grumble. And this is why I bought the meat. Yeah, you have to feed the moblin to go past him and finish the labyrinth. Little bit of an annoying thing they put in, but still, that's why I said to buy the meat there. And, I'm sorry, my compulsion kicks in here, and I have to kill every monster. Yeah, I don't know why. And as you can see on the map in the top left, it looks like a dinosaur head, or a lizard head. Take your pick. Either way, it looks like a head. Like I said, I really like that. I think that's a pretty interesting thing they did. Oh, come on, just poke the moblin and let's move on. Ah, schnitzel. I got cursed. Poke him. There we go. So next we're going to want to head right. Moblins! I don't know what the deal is if the moblins take... If they take more hits to kill when you upgrade your weapon or not. Because now it takes 2, and I could swear it took only 3, maybe 4 hits with the wooden sword in Labyrinth number 2. So, I don't know what's up with that, but yeah. They should be dying in one shot, but they're not. So, I don't know, maybe their life increases as you upgrade weapons, which would be interesting. It would kind of stink and defeat the purpose of getting stronger weapons, but still. Anywho, you want to kill all these guys and then, of course, push the block on the left. Always the one on the left. And I race for the bombs, but I don't get there in time. You want to push the block and head down the stairs. Well, we'll find one of my favorite items. Still like the bone arrow better, but oh, I love this thing. It is the red candle. Yeah. This item is awesome, and you're going to actually see why I like it so much here in this part, because I start using it quite a bit. So what does it do? Well, as I'll show here in just a second, it lets you shoot flames in any direction you want, like the blue one, except you can kick out as many as you want. Yeah, you can become a flame-throwing maniac. But to move on, you'll blow open the right side of the wall. Moblins! And I start using it here. And wow, I gotta say that the enemies, they lined up for me so perfectly, and yet I still didn't take advantage of it. Look at how they cluster up right there. You could send a flame and essentially damage all of them. Yeah, it's awesome. I love the red candle. What makes it so great is the fact that you can throw it and still run around without worrying about getting hit. In other words, it's a distance weapon, but it's distance, but at the same time, it's not. And like the bombs, it's really good to use and still dodge, but unfortunately, it doesn't hurt all enemies. There are quite a few enemies that it doesn't hurt. And I know a lot of... my finger slipped there and accidentally used the flute again. I know a lot of people who would rather use the magic rod with the little enhancement that you get later. Just another little item spoiler. But honestly, I'd rather have the red candle. I would just skip the magic rod altogether and just get the candle. I mentioned in part 2 that the stopwatch can screw you over, and in the original recording for Labyrinth 7, the one that I had to... that got messed up and I had to re-record with this one, in this room is where the stopwatch screwed me over. And so, since that didn't happen, I figure I'll talk about it and describe what I mean. Those hand enemies, they come from the walls. In order to push the blocks, you have to kill all the enemies. Since the stopwatch stops enemies from coming, yeah, it stops the hands, it stops any more hands from spawning, you can never push the block, and you have to leave the room and come back in. So it screws you over. And that's just one of the many ways that the stopwatch can actually screw you over. I can't remember if I mentioned in part 1, but the hand enemies will drag you back to they'll drag you back to to the beginning of the labyrinth. So you're gonna want to avoid them if you can. You know, they're pretty bad. Well, not bad, but it's Puff the Weenie Dragon zombie. That's right, Puff is back and he's just as weak as before, if not weaker. As you can see, the magical shield can block its fireball. This is like the only boss in the game whose attack you can actually block. Puff the Weenie Dragon is the weakest boss in the game. That's all there is to it. And that was Labyrinth 7. Yep, we're at the Triforce. Labyrinth 7 is a real breath of fresh air compared to Labyrinth 5 and 6. It's even easier than Labyrinth 4. Yeah, I think it's even easier than that one. I gotta kill this moblin. I have to. I gotta kill him. But yeah, it's a lot easier than those labyrinths, and it's easier than the other labyrinths. I actually think this one should have been Labyrinth number 5, but for some reason they wanted to make it number 7. Anyway, I'm going on and on. Things are gonna, like, how many keys, bombs, rupees, maybe even my life meter. They're gonna look different in part 9, because, again, this is a re-recording of Labyrinth number 7. So, just a little heads up, things are gonna look a little different. But I showed everything in the Labyrinth, even though I didn't get the enhanced bomb carrying amount. Because I didn't want to get the rupees, I wanted to get this part over with. Anyway, this was part number 8. I'll see you all in part number 9. I've been Gene the Pink Panther, and I'll see you later.